PlayStation。
Welcome to the land of long-lived play, where greatness is always waiting. Welcome to the PlayStation experience. It is I, your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, and as usual, I've got my main man with me from Florida, Mr. Delvin Cox. How are you this fine Sunday morning?
I am doing very well, Dev. How are you doing?
I'd be doing better if you
I
stopped
hate this R&B step. I hate it. I hate it. We're not in an R&B lounge.
You're now listening to the sultry sounds of PSXP.
Ugh.
On the ones and twos, you have the man Delvin Cox. To the right of me, you have Haley, and to the left of me, you have Dev Tyus, the man of the hour, the man who listens to the sounds and the power for the hour.
We're gonna give you some classic songs.
In the next hour, we're playing Boys to Men.
First, we have wrestling promos. Now we've got the late night R&B hour. This is just you're off the rails already. You should have like water in your cup. What's in your cup? You drink some yak.
Black coffee, because I am tired. Straight up black coffee.
You're a fool.
And as usual, I am drinking Coke. So
I mean, it's better than doing Coke. So at least we have that.
I can't do drugs, so.
That other voice you hear is the Platinum Princess herself, Miss Haley Nicole Miller. And she's drinking Coke.
Yeah. Morning.
Yeah. So we're all here. No guest this week, just the regular crew on this December morning. How is everyone? Let's start with you, Haley.
What a weird week in general. Elliot Page came out. Hell yeah. It was not great to see a couple of news organizations immediately dead name him in their articles, which is just
well, fuck him. That's all you say.
All right. I was trying not to swear, but Delvin just 30 seconds in. There we go.
Okay, so I have to ask. Like, for me, I had no idea. I was like, who is Elliot Page? If they didn't use his previous name, I would not have known. So,
okay, so the best way to go about this is you can talk about Elliot Page's previous roles to explain who he is without using his name, his old name, which is what a dead name is, in case anyone's wondering.
So, is that a personal preference? Like, what if he was okay with that? Like, is that like a personal preference thing? Is that just?
It's a general thing for most trans people that they don't want to hear their dead name ever. They don't want to reference. I would honestly assume, considering Netflix immediately updated all of his credits, both in older movies that he starred in, and in the Umbrella Academy, and they've even stated they're going to go back in and edit the title sequences for each episode of the Umbrella Academy and change his name that way as well. I would assume it would either be his decision or Netflix just decided, hey, we're going to do this, but some people are generally more okay with it than others. But I'll tell you this much, don't do what TMZ did, which is dead name, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, comes out as trans, makes joke about being named Elliot Page. Like, don't do that. That's garbage. Don't ever do that shit.
I saw that. That was tasty.
Like you can, in the case of Josh's dad, right? Because Josh came into the Discord when this news was announced. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my dad. And I was like, hey, GLAAD has an article up on their website on how to refer to this. However, GLAAD is not the end-all be-all because that same article also says it's okay to use their dead name to explain who they are. Generally, for most trans people, that would not be okay. Again, I don't know Elliot Page personally. Don't know what their feelings are. But generally, you can use their old roles to explain who they are without using their dead name. Anyways, it was a very exciting news. In less exciting news, I went back to work on Thursday and had a man tell me he was going to punch me in the face as I sold him Twizzlers.
People suck, as a general rule.
I don't know what.
I know people suck, but here's my favorite part. I'm sitting there, just doing my job, scan the Twizzlers through. He's laughing, going, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Ha ha ha. I'm like, sir, do you want a bag for your items? Ha ha, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And it's just like, hey. And my boss is like standing there doing nothing. Like,
so
after this man left, another customer came up, was like, I'm pretty sure that man has mental issues. And I'm like, okay, but I have mental issues. I don't act like that. Like, all right. Like, I don't understand why you need to, ha 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 ha, I'm going to punch you in the face as I sell you Twizzlers. Like, sir, I'm just here to sell you stuff and get you out of the store. Please don't punch me in the face.
Well, he was buying Twizzlers, so he can't be.
I mean, we don't sell red vines here, so.
Well,
now, when you say here, you just mean at your store. You don't mean like in all of Canada, right?
No. We don't sell red vines here.
In all of Canada?
At least in Ontario, we don't sell red vines.
What kind of nonsense? Yet another strike against you, Canada. Another strike.
Also found out I'm working Christmas Eve, even though I told my boss I couldn't work Christmas Eve, and if I dispute it, I know I just won't have a shift that week.
Yeah, you might have to take that L on that one.
What do you mean take that L? Delvin, I told her I couldn't work for a specific day because I had therapy. She scheduled me for that day. I went back, talked to her about it. Turned out I had no shift that week because she got upset that I couldn't work the day she scheduled me because I had therapy.
And that's my point. Some of these managers getting their little moods. Oh, you can't work this day, so I'm just not going to schedule you at all, which sucks, which is horrible. But
yeah, after not being scheduled for 3 weeks, yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
like
pick your battles on that one. I've worked many of Christmas days.
Okay, but like I get this year's different because Corona. But if she had to schedule me that day, like last year, I would have had to go. Like, hey, I already told you I can't work this day, like months ago. Like it's stupid, like absolutely ridiculous. Like you can't just schedule. If I give you ample notice, you can't just schedule me for a day I told you I can't work.
I agree, but managers are petty.
Yeah, like, this is why I don't miss retail because everything is like. You can request this off, but I can't. I don't have to guarantee it to you. Like that's the one thing I don't miss about retail at all.
No. There's laws about that. If I give you ample time, you have to give me the day off.
Maybe in Canada, but not here. If you can request a day off, it can always be denied. Regardless, you can give me ample time, especially if you're not full time and you don't have vacation time to request a vacation day. They can absolutely deny your request. Like,
all right, I just won't show up then.
And then that's a no call, no show. So again, this is the things I don't miss about retail.
Yeah.
All right, family's more important than this. So
totally understand. Like I'm not disputing you. I'm just saying these are the things that I dislike about working in retail. Like I remember those times, and it was not always fun.
Regardless, found out I'm working 2 to 9 on Christmas Eve. If anyone can help me find a job, sure, because I'm having no luck. So
I don't have any connections in Canada.
I know you don't.
I got nothing.
I know.
I'm trying to think of any of my friends in Canada. I'll look into it.
All right. What about you, Delvin? How's your week been? You doing any home improvement? Any
I'm doing
projects?
everything. I'm just tired. Like I am podcasting a lot. I was on Decade of Horror. We recorded yesterday.
I know. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Haley's gonna be proud of me because I mentioned Ben on there.
Yeah, actually, how'd that go for you? Did you finish it?
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. I described it as a woman version of The Lost Boys.
All right. I mean, yeah, it's pretty ample description of it, kind of.
Yeah, I got Donnie to say he'll add it to his queue. So
I mean, Donnie already said he'd add it to his queue months ago, but Donnie forgets things sometimes.
Yes, but
he's a busy man, though.
Yes, very much so. I've just been busy as heck, man. Like getting all these podcasts recorded because I've decided I am taking a break. Like I am drained. I am tired. Add to the fact that I'm like, before this podcast, I am in the middle of like changing brakes for a truck, which is not fun. It's not even like the brakes. I got to change like the whole brake system. In the front, like the
I know we've established that my dad is an asshole, but like you should talk to my dad about that. My dad's a mechanic, so
I can't come to Canada, Haley.
No, I know you can. The border's closed. You couldn't come anywhere near Canada right now.
Exactly, but yeah, man, I am dead tired, like legit tired. I need a break from everything. I want to play some games. I've only played one game this week, and I thought I should mention it because it's a fascinating game that is a legit ripoff of Banner Saga, like 100%. It's called Ash of God's Redemption.
What?
Wait, say that again.
Yeah, I was like,
Ash of God.
Ash. Okay, I thought you said Ass of God, and I was gonna say, wow, that's interesting.
That's a whole nother game. That's the porn parody of this game. But it's literally Banner Saga in every form way. It looks like Banner Saga. It plays like Banner Saga. Similar cutscenes as Banner Saga. They probably should be getting sued. But I like it because I like Banner Saga. It has the same type of feel to it. It plays the same way. I think only difference is it's maybe a different setting. Because Banner Saga is like, I want to say like medieval, almost like Vikings, almost kind of like. And
Okay.
this is not that. This is kind of like Roman Empire / Plague. But I like the game a lot. I'm playing it on Series X because I literally did not know this game existed until I hopped on the Series X. And like, oh, these games are for sale. This game was like $15. Like, oh, this looks really cool. But it is also on PS4 / PS5 if you want to play it. On PS4, it's $29.99. I say wait till it goes on sale for $14.99 and check it out. But I like it a lot. If you like Banner Saga, it is an exact clone of Banner Saga with just a different story, different setting. Very brutal and violent, like to the extreme degree. It looks like almost like the movie Heavy Metal.
Oh, okay.
So
old school.
I know
anime.
Haley don't know what Haley. I know Haley knows.
That's an 80s. That's a throwback right there.
Yeah, an 80s movie that was animated movie that was super violent that was made by Ralph. I want to say Ralph Bakshi made it.
I have no idea who made it. I just know that it was awesome, and South Park parodied it, and it was also awesome.
Yes, but it's a pretty cool game. Like, you can find it on sale. Check it out. Especially if you like Banner Saga.
Very cool. That sounds like it'll be up Garrett's aisle. He likes those kind of games. I'm with you, Delvin. I am exhausted. It's been a long week. Lots of family stuff that had happened. My mom, her cancer, she's in the ER, or she was in the ER like late Sunday. Just after her like radiation therapy ended, like it ended the week before Thanksgiving, and then she was just like completely devoid of energy to the point where by Sunday, like she really couldn't get up, walk, or do anything for herself, and tried to go to the bathroom, fell. My grandmother was there, and like they could not get her up, so I had to call the ambulance take her to the ER. She had a UTI, and she's just not able to do much of anything. It really sucks. She got discharged from the ER and transferred to a rehab facility so they can get her weight back up, get her strength up, so she can be able to do stuff on her own again and get back to the house. Because she's still going through chemotherapy and all of that good stuff. So it's been a rough week with that, and then that just flowed right into like my mother-in-law's birthday was Saturday, or Friday, and that's a serious point of grief for my wife. So it's been a very, very long and interesting week here at the Tyus household. So much like Delvin, I too just exhausted. I did finish Miles Morales, however.
Did you get that plat?
Heck no, I'm not. I do not plan on getting the platinum because I'm not gonna replay the whole story again. I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I don't feel like having to
First
redo all
shame.
that. I mean, I really enjoyed the story, but much like the original Spider-Man, like I typically just don't replay games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I really, really, really enjoyed that game. I am gonna finish the prologue where you get all the postcards and stuff like that because I love the story of the game. Loved it. Can't wait to see what they do with the next one. Loved all the stuff that happened in the post scenes.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. So as non-spoiler as possible, what do you think of that end credit scene?
I loved it. I love what they did there. Can't wait. I just can't wait to see where they take everything next, and I love this world that they're building. Really, really, really enjoying that. Also jumped into Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Played through the prologue of that. Really enjoyed it. Like the humor, like the storytelling, like what they're doing with Zeus and Prometheus, and just a fun game overall. Like getting all the little abilities and upgrades and stuff like that. It's definitely a game that's right up my alley. So I will be playing that. I played it on Ubisoft Plus because I completely forgot to cancel that subscription. So at least I don't have to pay $60 for the game. It was only $15, and I get to play it as much as I want for this entire month. And then if I ever get it on PlayStation, my save and stuff will just carry over, which is cool because it's definitely going to run better on my PlayStation than on my PC until I get a new GPU.
Just a heads up, because as far as I know, with Immortals, it's not automatic like with. Oh my god! Oh, sorry, I thought I hit the mute button.
Yeah.
It's not automatic like Valhalla is. Whereas with Valhalla, it doesn't matter where you played; it's already automatic. Your save is already there.
This
I
one
believe you have to
auto-saved it.
I know, okay, but I believe you actually have to upload your save. I believe
It auto upsaved because when I went to go upload it, it was already there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't checked that yet. I've been playing Immortals as well. I think you're at about 7 hours in. It's really enjoyable, especially as someone who enjoys Greek mythology. It's really funny hearing Zeus just be an absolute moron.
Yeah.
While Prometheus is trying.
Dick, but that's Zeus.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, so there's like your standard quests, but then you can find like hidden quests too. And I found one last night that made a joke about they have like 6,000 children, and Zeus just pipes up immediately and goes, "Jesus, how irresponsible! You should stay on my level. I only have 54 that I know of."
Yeah. They really play with that and just all of Zeus's ridiculousness. So I'm really enjoying that. It's fun. It's funny.
The glide system is pretty cool as well. Once you like start getting more stamina, it's more useful.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe with this game is the stupid stamina. I hate games that do that. I'm not a fan of the stamina thing.
On the plus side, it is it's not hard to upgrade at all. Yeah. I've gotten like 2 extra stamina bars. One of the first armor sets you can get actually even gives you a bonus stamina bar. I'm not using that armor set anymore. I'm using a different one. But the armor sets are cool as well. They're very well designed. There's a bunch in there. There's different like visual designs too. Like I immediately love that you can just like make your armor look however you want it. the season pass bonus outfit's really cool, like armor wise, but I don't like the effect it immediately has on your character. It just turns your entire character purple.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot because I put that on as soon as I was able. So I was like, oh, this is kind of fresh. I like the effect.
I don't like it. That's the thing.
I like purple.
I like the armor design. I don't like. I wish the effect on the character could be toggled because the armor set is cool. And though for like yourself, you may enjoy that effect, but it actually hurts my eyes to look at that effect. I will say I've kept it in performance mode. It seems I seem to be okay, not having any headaches. Playing in 60 FPS here. I don't know why I'd put it in 30 FPS because there's no ray tracing in this game. So, but it seems to be all right. Generally enjoying the puzzles too. They're pretty great. Last night though, this was before I made dinner. I was doing a Vault of Tartarus, which are essentially like, because for those who don't know, this game is generally like, what if Ubisoft made a Breath of the Wild type game? They're like the shrines here. Last night I encountered one where there's optional chests you can grab in them. They made this optional chest only available from the end of the vault. And if you miss it, or even if you grab the chest, you have to do the last section of the vault over again because there's a switch that requires you to place a light object on it to get the last two required pieces together. So once you grab that chest, you have to run through it again, and they've made it so you need the box that would activate the last two pieces again to get back up there. So you have to redo the whole last section of the vault. That was annoying, but you know.
Yeah, I haven't done anything like that. Like I said, I just did the prologue where basically you get off the plateau just like in Breath of the Wild. It's really funny, but this is the Breath of the Wild game that I would prefer. The actual Breath of the Wild for me, I don't know, it was too bare, too empty. Like,
boring.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. I just this is much more my style. It's just more going on, lots to see, lots to find and roam. I mean, I guess they have that in Breath of the Wild, but for me, it was just too few and far between. It was too barren as you're roaming the countryside. I like having a lot of stuff, so Ubisoft games typically work for me, and this one,
yeah,
I definitely enjoy. And I will definitely be putting more time into it.
I'm still playing Valhalla as well. I actually took down 2 legendary creatures this week as well. And a second daughter of Lyrian, which are like other legendary bosses. If you defeat all 3 of them, you get a really cool helmet for it. There's actually an achievement tied to it, but I won't spoil it. So,
yeah, I don't even know what that
Christmas
means.
games for me, by the way.
All
these games are Christmas games for me, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Christmas time is here.
Speaking of another of Dev's Christmas games, by the time this episode releases, there's less than 24 hours till Cyberpunk's out. So
that's gonna be cool. I'm excited for you guys to play it.
I'm not gonna play it for a while.
So I'm not playing it till Christmas. So
yeah,
Dev's waiting on that PS5 version.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the full experience. Just because I also have other stuff I want to play before I get completely sucked into that game, because I know it's going to be long as I'll get out.
I do have to say, though, an article came out this week about, like, from Polygon, actually, about, like, their repeated occurrences with trans stuff, and immediately, like, all the gamers are mad, which is so funny. Like,
what happened now?
Polygon posted an article about, like, all the trans related stuff that's happened in the lead up to this game, and gamers were big mad. So, as they generally get anytime trans stuff is brought up in the gaming space, which is stupid. So,
yeah, gamers are a fickle bunch. They're just
Imran Khan actually posted a tweet last night. One sec, let me grab it here. One sec, here we go.
Oh, Imran.
Skims the CDPR thread and reset era. Man, what the fuck? Being an ally takes some worthwhile effort, but it's not that hard to not be an enemy. Fuck out of here with this. I just want my game. I don't want to think about anything else bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gamers in 2020 just hits different. It's just the worst.
If you want other gaming related weirdness, how about the fact that fans of Dragon Age might like this one? Mark Dara and Casey Hudson announced their departures from BioWare this week. Immediately after Mark Dara posted about it, Greg Ellis, the voice actor for Cullen in the Dragon Age games, immediately took a shot at Mark Dara, and Mark Dara turned around and told him he'd pretty much never work on another Dragon Age game ever again. And then Greg Ellis turned around and made a 38-minute long rant as Cullen Rutherford. Posted the video on YouTube. Fans asked Mark Dara if Greg Ellis could be sued for this. Mark Dara replied, "Absolutely," and I can't wait to see it happen because Greg Ellis is awful.
I don't even know who that is.
I just gotta say this, man. I feel like 2020 has just brought out the absolute worst of people.
Yep,
100%.
But also, it was very nice to see Mark be able to respond to Greg Ellis in a less than, "Hey, I have to maintain this veneer of professionalism," because Greg Ellis has been harassing Mark Dara for months after fans asked back in like April if they wanted Greg Ellis involved with the company because he was spewing racist and transphobic garbage all over Twitter. And fans were like, "Hey, BioWare, do you guys want this guy involved with the game?" And Mark Dara came out, didn't even mention Greg Ellis by name, but was like, "Hey, like we noticed this stuff. We don't want to be involving ourselves with people who are spewing this kind of stuff. Don't worry, proper actions will be taken, yada, yada, yada." Greg Ellis immediately assumed it was about him, started firing shots at Mark Dara for months. And to watch Mark Dara pretty much on Friday just go, "Hey, buddy, fuck you," and just walk away was fantastic.
I'm so glad I don't follow any of this nonsense.
I don't either. This is enough. I follow enough nonsense of people.
I'm glad that there is so much that I'm like, I don't need to hear any of this. Like, there's just too much, just like you said, just the worst in people has just come out, and it's just, there's enough going on. I don't need none of that shenanigans. Anyway, let's get into some questions, some happier stuff. So our first question comes from at DLifeHD over on the Twitters. He asks, will PlayStation ever have a service that legitimately rivals the Xbox Game Pass? I think it depends on what you consider legitimately rival. I think it really depends on how you look at it. You say you do, Delvin? What do you think? What are your thoughts there?
I say they do. They have PS Now.
Yeah.
Same crap. It's not that much of a difference when you really look at it. It's just that they don't, like we said before, they don't promote it enough. They don't talk about it enough. I don't think PS Now will ever get to the point where they'll have PlayStation games day and date with the service. But I can see them being like, "Hey, here's the newest God of War," like a month or two later, or something like that. I just think that Xbox knows its position in gaming right now. They're trying to do something completely different, and they're okay with that. Where PlayStation knows their position as well. And they're like, "You know what? Our exclusives sells consoles. Our exclusives sells systems, and they sell themselves. So we don't have to give our exclusives out for $15 a month per se." Where Xbox is like, "Hey, we're going to have this service that's going to get you in the door and going to keep you on our service." It's two different approaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you really look at it, it's exciting because I feel like this is the best time, if you have the money, to own all three systems or own a form of all three systems. Whether it's just, "Hey, I have a PS5, but I also have Game Pass on PC, and I also have a Switch, so when I go on the go." I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time we really had that kind of division in consoles in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, PS Now has 650 games. Yeah, they don't do the day and date with their exclusives the same way that, Microsoft does theirs, but You know, it is a service that has a ton of games on it. They're constantly adding new games to it. You can also get them on the PC as well. Some games you can download, like the PS4 games you can download. The other ones you have to stream. But I think it's still, it rivals, Game Pass. It's not as, big because of the fact that it doesn't have the game's day and date, but a lot of the exclusives do come there eventually. So I
Yeah.
think it just depends on where you place the value, like what you're really looking to get out of the service. But it exists. There is something that actually rivals Game Pass. Just if you want those day and date games, you're gonna have to wait.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, not in the long run. It's not, because the prices vary in different countries. So,
It's $60 a year here for PS Now.
yeah.
120, $12.99 a month here.
You can't
If you
buy
get
a
the
year
year-
subscription?
You can. It's $120.
Huh, that's
It's-
weird. You
it's
buy it out here at
$60, yeah.
60 and it was on sale for 45.
Wow, that's a
and-
huge
and-
price difference.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, it's the prices vary in different countries. But also, I wouldn't really consider PS Now a service that's comparable to Game Pass at all. I'm sorry, I just don't. Because Sony doesn't promote it. Stupid thing won't go away. we can't figure out what's keeping them. Like, they just won't go away. It's absolutely stupid. But I just don't think it's comparable at all. They don't promote it as well as they should. Really, they'll add games every 3 months, but some of them they just go, "Hey, this game's here for 2 months. You want it? Play it." Which, all right, Game Pass does that as well. We're like, "Hey, these games will be leaving eventually," but like generally, you get a good amount of time with them. Now, do I hope PlayStation gets a comparable service? Absolutely. I just don't consider PS Now that. So,
I mean, for me, it's a service with a bunch of games on it. It's comparable. I look at it as the same thing. It's a game service where you can subscribe and have access to a ton of games. And they add
I think
games
it's
every
comparable.
month.
I think it's comparable. I don't think it's. If you want to talk about on quality of it, I can see what your point with that, Haley. I think Xbox quality alone is superior because they put more care into it. But I think it's in terms of just service alone, like they're comparable services. I just think that Xbox is doing the right thing with theirs. While PlayStation yeah, it's there. If you want it, it's there. You can go try it out. But we're not really gonna tell you about it or promote it in any way. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, unless you're really dialed into the PlayStation, ecosystem and you follow all the right accounts and pay attention to the blog, you're not going to know when they add games, but they do add games every month, and it's actually 800 games, not 650. And this month they added Horizon Zero Dawn and a couple of other games, and Horizon Zero Dawn is on there like indefinitely. There's no end of
there's
end
no
of
date for
Yeah.
Horizon, yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on you like you said. There's the quality of Game Pass is better. They put more care into it because that's really what they're trying to sell you on, is that sub. Where PlayStation Now is not something that Sony is like pushing anywhere near as hard as they're pushing as Microsoft is pushing Game Pass. But I think in terms of it being a subscription service where there's a ton of games and a ton of value there, depending on what you're looking for, I would say they're comparable in that way. It's just, Microsoft is a step ahead. And, if PlayStation really wanted to, they could, step it up with PS Now. But I like Devin said, they know where their value is, and their value truly is in their exclusives, where Microsoft's value is in Game Pass. All right. Our next question comes from the elusive man over on the Discord, and he ponders, why Destiny gotta be so mean when I give it everything I have?
This is your
Because
question, Dev.
Yeah,
No, I mean it is Dev's question, but also like I have an answer. Because it's Destiny and it wants all your time, as most games that are meant to be that way are. Like it's the same as like, I mean, FIFA's not really comparable, but like FIFA Ultimate Team, that wants all your time. NHL Ultimate Team, that wants all your time. It's the same thing. It's just like all these game companies want you to spend all your time with that game. Like, that's why.
I think it's just the MMO thing. MMOs, they require, constant playing because
Yeah.
there's updates and there's things that go away. There's things that are only going to be available on this time. Like right now, we're in the season of the hunt. Eventually, the season of the hunt is going to end, and all of the content there. Well, they said they're going to keep most of it around. They're not going to sunset everything like they used to. But once the season is over, that seasonal content goes away, and then you have another season. So yeah, it's one of those things where if you really want to get the most out of the season, like you kind of got to log in every day. But that's an MMO thing. So it just you gotta pick and choose your battles. Like, what do you want to give to it? Me and Destiny, we've got a relationship. It's an open relationship right now. We kind of broke up last December. We got back together late October, and now it's an open relationship where we see other people from time to time. It's cool. We've got an understanding. I dip in and out here and there, play some Destiny, go play some Miles Morales, play some Destiny, go play some Immortals. It's a good time. But it can be very, very difficult. I mean, yeah. It can be difficult. Like, if you want to raid, you really got to get in there and grind to get to the power cap and stuff like that. But
yeah, what is the power cap in Destiny now?
I think the soft cap is, I want to say 1230, and I think the hard cap is 1250.
Okay.
And I'm like 1209 right now. We're trying to get our crew up to 1230 so we can actually do the raid and not completely suck at it. But it's cool. Can't wait for this PS5 patch.
I haven't done a raid since Oryx, so.
Oh wow, that was D1. That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
long time ago. I've actually played every one of.
I just didn't have people to play with.
I
didn't have people to play with in D2. I never did the raid.
Yeah, trust me, I understand. Like I have a clan, and we are fickle at best. We haven't even completed all the raids. Like, we've attempted all the raids. We haven't completed them all because sometimes, life gets in the way. But hopefully we'll play this next one.
I did Vault of Glass and then Oryx, and then I haven't done a raid since. So
yeah, they're bringing back Vault of Glass, and I'm very, very excited for that.
But also, like, I haven't really played Destiny 2 since they killed Cade. So
yeah. That was sad, but really well done. Really well done.
He wasn't even like my mentor character, because like I was a warlock, but still, like, Cade was like one of the best things about that game.
Yeah, he brought a lot to the game. Like, his character, like, he was the lighthearted kind of glue, because Zavala and Ikora were just kind of
sticks in the mud.
Zavala definitely. Ikora, she's a beast, but their characters are more just stoic than anything. Where Cade was kind of like this happy-go-lucky, nomad. I kind of do what I want kind of guy. And
I mean, that's great. The brand of Nathan Fillion character, though. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But they killed him off, and it was something that needed to happen because you needed to have a reason to do some of the stuff. Like, it just brought that extra oomph. That's probably one of their best seasons. Their best expansions was the Forsaken expansion. Good stuff. So yeah. Next question.
The Forsaken expansion did bring bows to the game, which is nice.
Yeah, bows are fun. Bows are very fun. Next question comes from Mr. Delvin Jr. He wonders, what do you think about the future of Sony's older franchises? Do you think they end up like how Crash, Wrath of Cortex ended up giving the licenses to Universal, or giving them another chance like God of War 2018?
I hate to break your heart, Delvin Jr. I know why you asked this question. You will not be receiving Jack 4 at all, if ever, anytime soon. Unfortunately, I think this is going to become more of a rare case thing. You'll see remasters of things for sure, but this question was specifically brought up because last night, we'll talk about more of it later, but like when the Naughty Dog news was posted in the Discord, you're like, please make Jack 4, and Yeah, the Jack collection they re-released on PlayStation did not sell well at all. And if that was a test gauge for interest, I can guarantee you that's it. Jack is over. In regards to other franchises, like their older stuff, I don't know that we'll see more of it. It'd be cool, but I don't know that we will. I don't even know that other studios will get a handle on it. Like the rumor is right now that Sony San Diego is working on the next Uncharted game. Like that's pretty much like the worst kept secret in Sony right now. That like, hey, there's an Uncharted game in development from Sony San Diego. And Nolan North keeps being sneaky about it, but like he's probably involved in some way. He keeps making Uncharted jokes on Twitter. But like, in regards to stuff that I'd love to see, like Infamous, I don't know that we'll ever see a remaster of that, let alone the franchise come back, which sucks because love those games. I don't know. It's an unfortunate thing because it's a matter of, hey, public interest, how well is this going to sell, and how much of the development costs for it will we lose if it doesn't do well.
Yeah, I also don't think they'll ever do the licensing to like Universal again. That was a bad move. I don't think you'll see anything like that. I think if anything, they'll keep their older franchises and then contract people like Bluepoint to make remasters or whatnot. Or if they're gonna go with a reboot, going to an actual studio, but something like Universal, they won't do that again.
I agree with that. I think there's some room for some of these older games to come out again. I don't think they'll be the version that people expect. Like I can see them making another Wipeout game or something like that. Or it's crazy because it just depends on fan impact, fan influence, and depends on if the developers want to make it. Like I can see a Resistance coming back or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
People keep asking for it. You just have to find a studio that wants to do it.
Yeah,
and wants to put the love and care into the game.
Because I'll be absolutely honest with you, I don't think Insomniac wants to touch Resistance again.
I agree. I think certain studios get like Naughty Dog, for example, has gotten to that point where I don't think they really want to go back to Jack and Dexter.
No, they don't. In fact, I honestly think Naughty Dog's next game is probably going to be first person because they were talking about how it'd be interesting to do a game in that style. So
yeah, I think when you have franchises as big as Jack and Dexter and things like that, I don't think Sony wants to see it die, but I think they're just waiting for the right company to take the reins for it. I will say this.
And the right time for it to come back.
Yes, I will say this about that though also. I don't think it will be Jack and Dexter Part 4. It'll probably be, here's a Jack and Dexter remake, essentially. Because companies want to do their own thing and tell their own stories. So it's kind of like the Ratchet and Clank one.
But the Ratchet and Clank one wasn't really a remake or a reboot. It was it took some of the plot from the movie, but then maintained the rest of the plot from the original game. So
yeah, and they changed elements of it. Like they made Ratchet and Clank friends like immediately instead of
yeah.
I think we'll see something like that as opposed to just straight up like, hey, here's Jack and Dexter 4 or something like that. I think because games cost money and platformers aren't necessarily like lighting the world on fire. They're selling pretty good now, but they have been always lighting the world on fire, especially to put the money that would cost to make a great one for PS5.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing about Sony. They've got so many just kind of franchises that they can just kind of have waiting in the wings, like a Siphon Filter or a Jack and Daxter or an Insomniac, Infamous. Like you can let those kind of chill and then mix them in with like new franchises. So like we got the return of God of War mixed in with like the continuation of Last of Us, and then we've got the newness of Ghost of Tsushima. If you just look at like the PS4, for example, like these last couple of years or whatnot, so you can see more of that where we'll get the continuation of Horizon. Maybe Uncharted takes a while off. We get another Ghost of Tsushima, and then we get some new franchise that ends up being big, and then like the return of an old franchise, like maybe a Siphon Filter or or maybe like a Resistance or something like that. So that's the beauty of Sony having these older franchises, that they can just kind of let them just chill in the winds and wait until the time is right to bring them back and give them the care and the love and care they deserve to do it right and make us fall back in love with those characters the way we fell in love with the God of War remake. So, and that just ties into our next question. Coach Smith 1993 wants to know, do we think Sony is getting too reliant on sequels to carry them?
No, not at all. I honestly think that Sony's mixture of new franchises that they've brought out, like Horizon, for example, and Ghost during the PS4 life cycle, mixed in with their sequels, right? Like they had Uncharted 4, Last of Us Part 2, which of course came out at like the tail end of the PS4. But like if they were just reliant on sequels, I don't know that we'd have seen Horizon. I don't know that we would have, gotten Ghosts, right? Like maybe they would have just told Sucker Punch, hey, make another Infamous, right? But like I think their willingness to allow studios to try something new is fantastic.
Yeah.
But also, this question just is kind of unfair considering there are 6 Halo games and 8 Gears of War, 4 Forzas. Like Xbox does this too, but like that's because these things become tentpoles for the companies, and then they mix in other things like Xbox. Yeah, they've been a little behind in this area because they haven't really had games, like exclusive games. I mean, like Xbox obviously has games to play because multi-platforms, but like in regards to this stuff, they'll get there. Like they've got a bunch of studios. They'll get there. But in the meantime, Xbox has relied on sequels as well. Like they've got they're up to Gears 5 now. Gears Tactics, they've got Halo and all that. Like this stuff is just normal for studios.
I think all companies rely on sequels, like especially Nintendo. Like
Nintendo's a different story entirely.
Yeah, but their whole catalog is based off of that nostalgia for certain games. Like, hey, here's 1,000 Mario games, here's 1,000 Zelda games. People love them because that's what they love, and they have quality behind them. So I feel like as long as you're putting out quality sequels and quality continuations of games, it's always going to happen. Now, Sony, for the most part, has always done just that. Like, all the Uncharted games are good. The Last of Us 1 and 2 are both quality games, whether you like what the story went or not. You can't knock the quality of those games. And I think that's just, once you establish a franchise, people are going to just, if they like it, people like it, they're going to just keep gravitating towards it. It's going to keep selling as long as you keep that quality up. And Sony, for the most part, has done just that. Yeah. And when they don't do that, it shows. And not to knock Microsoft, but they've had games that the first one, people liked a lot. Second one or third one, not so much. It depends. Like Crackdown's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Crackdown has been inconsistent. Even Halo 4 people like, apparently. Halo 5 people hate it.
Oh, but the Halo 5 thing was different. Like that was like a bait and switch thing where the marketing seemed like, hey, half the game you're going to play as Master Chief, half the game you're going to play as Locke. And in reality, you played as Master Chief for 3 missions in Halo 5. Like,
but that's how it is. Like, you have to be consistent with the quality of your games. And as long as you're consistent with it, people are going to support you. And when it comes to gaming, you don't get that many chances to strike out. Like, you only get like 1, maybe 2 chances to blow it on a game, and people just won't support you anymore.
Yeah. And I don't think it's so much reliant on sequels as it is more of like, we have franchises that we're building worlds around. Like if you look at the new God of War, it wasn't a sequel, it was a remake. But then you look at the fact that we also got, 2 brand new IPs in Horizon and Ghost of Tsushima. So it's not even so much that they're completely reliant on sequels.
Days Gone.
Oh yeah, and Days Gone, that's right. So yeah, they're not relying on sequels. Like they have sequels for, franchises that are ongoing. They bring in new franchises while they can put other ones on ice. So like Infamous is kind of on ice, but we got Days Gone, we got Horizon, we got Ghost of Tsushima. Uncharted might be put on ice for a while. Like, we may not get the next Uncharted until the end of the PS5's life cycle, or maybe we'll get that in the middle where we get the continuation of Horizon and God of War. So I don't think they're too reliant on sequels at all. I think they've built these worlds that people want to play in, and they continue to evolve them while also, putting time and care into developing new IP as well. So I don't think they're
Also,
too reliant on it at all, honestly.
to bring up your siphon filter point from the last question, did you guys see the fan theory that the company Sarah worked for in Days Gone is the company that you're trying to stop in siphon filter?
I did see something like that.
I did not.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting theory.
Yeah, didn't see that at all. But
I mean,
also
because
haven't played Days Gone yet. Too many games, too little time. All right.
It's 60 frames per second on the PS5.
Yeah,
So.
I have it downloaded. It's on my external hard drive, so I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, it's just one of those things I just didn't have time to play last gen. So, but I'm glad that it'll run better on PS5, and I definitely plan on getting around to it, which is why it's still on my hard drive. All right, let's get into the stories of this week. What you got for us, Haley? You kind of alluded to this.
Yeah. So Neil Druckmann, creative director on The Last of Us Part 1 and co-creative director on Last of Us Part 2, has been named co-president of the studio. Which is, it's very exciting to see the studio rally behind him after, regardless of my feelings on Last of Us 2, which, I still enjoyed, I have some issues with the story, but, I'm not going to go and insult him and start calling him Neil Druckmann on Twitter like all these other people were and stuff, or like sending death. What?
That's a thing?
Yeah, his mentions have been filled with that for months. People are just showing up in his Twitter. Anytime he tweets something, not even related to The Last of Us, people are in his mentions just calling him Neil Druckmann, which is ridiculous, but all right. Or he'll get called racial slurs and stuff like that, which is just all right. Like, wow, all right, this is not the win you think it is. But no, it's very exciting to see the studio just, go, hey, like, he's promoted. He's also like working on the HBO series, which was just greenlit. Like greenlit to go to production. Because like obviously the series was greenlit a while back, but like now we got the news it's going into production. But a couple others were promoted as well. Alison Mori and Christian Geerling, I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Have also been promoted as well. They'll serve as vice presidents of Naughty Dog. So it's very exciting to see upward motion at Naughty Dog. So
yeah, cool.
And
it's really cool.
Neil Druckmann also came out and said he'll still be writing as well. So
I appreciate that. With everything Naughty Dog has went through in the past few years in terms of like how they were like getting the flack for crunch. Even you go back to Amy Hennig leaving, like people have been waiting for Naughty Dog to just collapse and crumble. Like Amy Hennig leaving, Bruce Staley retiring essentially. People been kind of waiting for Naughty Dog to crumble. And to their credit, they have stood tall and still put out quality games, and Neil Druckmann should be commended for that. Like, and he should be promoted because he has been the face of Naughty Dogs for quite a while now. So kudos to him and their crew over Naughty Dog because they keep putting out quality stuff, and I'm just excited to see what they do next and how this promotion affects future games. And hopefully from this, other people in Naughty Dog will get built up. So maybe we get the next quote unquote Neil Druckmann face of Naughty Dog. They're like, hey, this guy helped write this big old cool Uncharted game or whatever they're working on.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool for people to grow and build in companies so they can eventually branch out and make their own Naughty Dogs.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Good stuff indeed. Can't wait to see where everything goes with that company and all the cool stuff we'll get from them. It'll be real fun to see what we get from them in PS5. Next story, Delvin. What you got for us?
So this is an interesting story from this website called IGN. I don't know if you guys heard of IGN. IGN. Little known website, but I'm going to take its word for what it's saying. According to a YouTuber, Modern Vintage Gamer, there is a loophole in the Xbox Series X and S developer mode that lets you boot up a variety of emulators, including PS2, Dreamcast, GameCube, and Wii games.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yep. You can pay $20 to get the developer mode and act like you just, hey, here's $20, Microsoft, and they will go ahead and enable the dev mode on your box, and then you can run emulators. And apparently it runs them very well.
I mean, on the Xbox One, there was an app that just did this. Of course, it got taken down for copyright reasons, but there was an app that just did this. You just download it. Xbox has always had a bunch of apps in the system that are just weird like that. Like, there was one app that's entire purpose was to just allow you to watch Batman the Animated Series for free.
And I had that app.
It got taken down for copyright reasons, but that app was literally...
And there was one for X-Men series.
Yep. Those apps were literally just there for like, hey, watch this. And then Xbox was just like, no, you can't be violating copyright laws.
I'm not gonna lie. It's
for a free app.
Some of the stuff you found Xbox store. It's like they don't, I guess, because is it connected to the Windows Store or something like that?
Yeah, it is.
Is that why?
Because essentially, like, when they did the big refresh of the Xbox One store, I think it was a couple years now ago, they kind of merged the Xbox store with the Windows Store. So, like, all those apps just show up on Xbox. So
yeah, and it's wild. that you can download to Xbox and they work.
I mean, it's the same. It's why Xbox games work on PC. So
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically
cool.
just a PC tower. That's really all it is, and it runs Windows, so you're able to do a lot of that kind of stuff. So the emulators it'll work on, a Windows PC essentially should work on the Xbox and probably run better because you're also not having the bloat of actual Windows on there. So
yeah,
it's nice. Pretty cool feature. You gonna boot that in there, Delvin? You gonna pay for that dev mode and get all your backwards compatibility old stuff?
I was considering it. I really was. I'm like, I'm not that brave. Oh, an Amber Alert.
I feel like that would be like right up your son's alley. Some of them older games, older titles like PS2 titles and stuff.
I do not have an Amber Alert on my phone, so just so you're clear.
Yeah, I just cut off mine right now.
Yeah, I don't have one either because I'm not in Florida. So.
Well, there's always Amber Alerts here. People are always getting kidnapped. Something's always happening. This is a wild state.
My favorite
Florida.
My favorite thing about the Amber Alerts here is all the people tweeting about like it waking them up. But then my least favorite thing is people calling police departments complaining that their phone woke them up at like 3 a.m. for an Amber Alert. And I'm like, you're wasting police dispatch time trying to find a missing child, having to answer your calls because you're angry that you didn't put your phone on silent. Like,
yeah, that's some kind of privilege there. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeesh. All right, so our last little quick story. So Kratos has made his way to Fortnite.
Yep.
You can play as Kratos on the Nintendo Switch. You can play as Kratos on the Xbox. It's kind of cool. This little promotion thing they're doing with this next season of Fortnite. I guess it's the season of the hunt or the hunters or whatever it is.
Yeah, bounty hunters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, to be able to have this kind of cross promotion and to be able to have Kratos playable on other platforms, even if it is just in Fortnite. I don't know if they've officially come out and said that Master Chief is part of it as well. I know there's a lot of speculation for Master Chief.
The last skin that Fortnite talked about was the Joker pack that came out on Friday. But you have to buy it as a whole bundle, so you get like Joker, Poison Ivy, and I forget who else, but like it's 3 DC Comics villains.
That's interesting because that doesn't seem like it ties into the bounty hunter thing at all.
No. Sometimes they'll just release bundle packs, like the Dark bundle or whatnot. But also, fun story about this whole like Kratos thing. When they revealed this image, there was a character beside them that kind of looks like Ellie. So I'll be curious to see if Ellie joins the game as well.
That'd be interesting. I don't feel like that really fits the motif, but yeah.
I mean, Kratos doesn't really fit the motif either. He's not a hunter.
No stuff is the motif for Fortnite. Fortnite just be adding anybody in
But
the game.
also, it's wild to see Kratos doing like Fortnite did.
They just be putting anybody in this game. Like,
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
They got
Well, the
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian makes sense.
now.
He's a bounty
It
hunter.
does.
I really hope that they put Samus Aran in it from Metroid. I really hope they do that because she needs representation. I freaking love Metroid.
Yeah. Did you notice that Kratos has an exclusive variant if you play on the PlayStation 5?
Nope, did not know that.
Yeah,
I don't play Fortnite.
Okay, fair. You get you get the regular skin, right, for Kratos, but then there's a variant you can choose to equip if you play on a PS5 where Kratos has gold armor. So
Cool.
Very cool. I know that a lot of the PSVG crew right now is kind of digging Fortnite. They've all succumbed to the whims of Fortnite and Kevin specifically. I know that they're all really enjoying it right now. So kudos to Fortnite for keeping this thing going and being able to continually change and evolve and draw in more and more people to the massive success that is Fortnite.
I like that Kratos' black back bling is Mimir.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's gonna be real weird to see Kratos with guns. Just odd. Odd. But cool.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. Do either of you ever actually play Fortnite? Have you played it at all?
Yeah, I've got I think I have reached level 44 in the Marvel season. And then from like way before they rebooted the map or whatnot, I've got like level 100 from like 4 seasons. I used to play all the time with Stone. But I'll pick it back up if they add Ellie. I have this weird thing. It's just a personal thing. I don't really use male skins in Fortnite, so I won't pick up Kratos, or I didn't even pick up Batman when Batman was added to the game. Like, I just don't use male skins in Fortnite. So
You play it all, Delvin? I mean, it's online, so I'm gonna assume no.
Hell no. Like they legit added one of my favorite Star Wars characters to the game and my favorite superhero. They added Captain America and Mando. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, there's nothing they can do at this point to make me play this game. I don't want to play it. I have
like
no interest in it.
when they originally brought Black Widow and Star-Lord to the game, I bought the Black Widow skin. So
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me either. I mean, not my type of thing. I'm not really big into the BRs, and the skins really don't do anything for me.
Cool. I will say that.
I mean,
cool.
some of them now have like built-in emotes and stuff like that, and it's weird. Fun fact: Kratos' pickaxe, when you smack things, it freezes over like in game. So
That's cool. Very cool.
Mm.
All right. So our topic of the week. Back to Naughty Dog. They released a trailer. They called it, I guess it's the Abbey trailer or whatnot. They released a trailer that basically was talking about like Abby's road, her story basically. And it just seems like just such an odd time to release a trailer that is kind of centralized around Abby and kind of like her emotional journey and also kind of how it parallels Ellie or whatnot. Very, very strange timing. I know it's been 6 months since the game came out. I know it's close to the holidays and they're trying to probably garner like new sales or whatnot. But it also brings around some speculation as if they're actually going to patch the game for PS5. And of course, it brought up all of the worst out in people in the comment sections. Neil Druckmans, of course, definitely got a bunch of stuff. If you look at the actual comments on the PlayStation blog, it is just horrific at best.
Laura Bailey is back to receiving death threats over the character, which is just like, regardless of how you felt about The Last of Us 2 story, or any game's story for that matter, you don't need to be sending death threats to actors for doing their job.
Right.
Like, you also don't need to be calling creative directors cucks because you didn't like the way a story played out. Like,
Yeah. Like, it's okay to not like a story or not like something,
yeah,
but the lengths at which people go to voice their displeasure is
this is
absolutely appalling. And it just,
yeah,
it sucks. Like, this is almost a reason why I feel like a lot of times in certain things, comments should just be disabled. Like, nobody wants to see that. Nobody needs to see that. If you can't voice your displeasure in a way that is actually,
Constructive.
if it's not actually, getting a good point across, or not downing someone or downing a whole group of people, then it should be removed immediately. Like, I think it either they need to moderate these comment sections and remove a lot of these very, very destructive and defaming comments, or just disable the comments altogether. Like, whether you dislike the Last of Us story or love it, like, it's still somebody's creative work, and there are people that really enjoy it, and it's okay if you didn't. But the way people have gone about voicing their displeasure is just so off-putting. And like Delvin said, it absolutely brings out the worst in people in 2020. It's just absolutely insane. Um, and again, I think this is just really odd timing for them to
it
bring
is.
out this trailer. It's so weird.
I mean, they've been talking for months now. Like, keep your eyes peeled. We'll update you on factions. But again, I would not be surprised if this is literally like, hey, we're putting this trailer about Abbey up to, like, you know, get people hyped. You know, people that aren't tweeting ridiculous crap at Druckman and Laura Bailey and whatnot. For an eventual PS5 upgrade, whether it comes free or it's like, hey, here's $20 for a PS5 upgrade, but you also get factions with it, right? Like, it's very interesting. You are right, the timing, but let's not forget the Game Awards are on Thursday. Maybe we'll see something there.
Yeah. I completely forgot about factions. I forgot that was even a thing. So
Well,
yeah.
because they came out a couple months ago and were like, hey, factions will not be coming with The Last of Us Part 2. It will be purely single player. But our work on factions will continue in a different form, and you'll see it. Now, the reason I think it'll be a PS5 upgrade, this is not saying PS4 won't get the multiplayer. I'm saying the reason I think it'll be released with the PS5 upgrade is just a bigger bang for your buck. Draw more people in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask this: why do you think it was an Abby-centric trailer?
Because the last trailer that they released didn't have Abby in it at all. It was literally all Ellie. Like, all the trailers for this game were Ellie. There's like, for anybody who's like, it's been long enough now that Naughty Dog feels, hey, we can advertise the second half of this game because so all the trailers previously only had Ellie in them.
Yeah. I also think it's because there's so much hate around Abby. If you can release a trailer that actually shows a little bit more of her story and not just all of the hate that she's garnered, then maybe it'll get people who haven't picked up the game, who are having oh, maybe I don't want to play this game. If they see this trailer, maybe it gets them more of like, oh, okay, it's not what everybody says it is. Maybe I will pick up and play this game.
I'm gonna say it like the great 50 Cent once said.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna tell you like Buck told me, man, go ahead and switch your style up. And if they hate, to let them hate and watch that money pile up. it's no true words can be spoken. Like, hey, like people gonna hate, and I don't know why. It's such a stupid thing to hate about. Like, what bothers about this whole thing? A lot of people that are hating on this whole Abby thing probably didn't even play the game.
Yeah.
They're just hating to hate, and it's so silly and so childish. And it makes me want to root for Naughty Dog more. Like it makes me like Abby more. And even though I wasn't a fan of the character, as I had my problem with the character, but just the fact that they are so anti-Abby, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I do like this character now. Maybe Abby's cool with me, like, because this.
I don't like Abby as a character. I've expressed my opinions on that character at all. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go and tweet death threats to Laura Bailey. I'm not going to go on Twitter and call Neil Druckmann a cuck. I'm not going to tweet Haley Gross graphic images and threats of like being forced to do sexual acts. Like, come on. This stuff's absolutely stupid. I get it. You don't like a character. This stuff's ridiculous. And it draws back to the Raimi crap from Spider-Man when they wouldn't, like, there were legal reasons why they couldn't add the Raimi suit to Spider-Man, and fans were tweeting Brian Intihar absolute garbage, like death threats and stuff like this to him. It's just like, over a freaking Spider-Man suit. Like, all this stuff is just ridiculous. And it's the absolute... okay, but I was going to go further. It's like they feel like they're entitled to stuff. And guess what? You're not entitled to stuff. You pay money for a product. You may not like the end result of that product.
Yeah.
Like, there's creative visions.
Keyboard warriors, man. You get to hide behind the internet.
But, like, this is actually a perfect point to bring up because, like, this ties back to my comment about the CDPR article from Polygon yesterday. All these people up in arms over it. Like, okay, you don't care about trans people. Most people who are trying to be Imran's example here, like, you don't, like, it takes effort to be an ally, sure, but you don't need to act like being an ally is a burden. You don't need to act like it's the wrong thing to do. It's not hard at all. Like, this F you got mine stuff needs to stop. Like,
the beauty of the mute and block button. The internet is a special place with lots of terrible people in it, and a lot of times just you gotta ignore them all because most of these people, they don't have any effect on anything. They're just a bunch of people spewing, and let them spew into the void. This is a really good game, you know. Whether you like the story or the characters or not, like, there's a lot of care and a lot of love that went into this game, and it is a really, really good story.
I mean, like, take it from me. I don't like Abbey. I'm still playing through the game again on permadeath mode to get a trophy. If they release the PS5 upgrade and it has a whole separate trophy list, I will play through the whole game again to get the platinum. Like, I don't like Abbey as a character, but I'll still play through the whole game again to get the platinum because the game's fun. It plays well. It's enjoyable. The game already kind of uses DualSense features through back compat. Like, why not see them take full advantage of it? Add ray tracing or a 60 FPS option for those who want it, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not a big deal.
If this game was terrible, I mean, like, trash, it doesn't justify the way people are acting.
Yeah, correct.
And the way people are behaving. Like, you have to have some character and goof about yourself in terms of be respectful. There's a lot of things I hate.
I can't wait for Thursday night. Honestly, I can't wait for Thursday night for this game to take home all the awards and for people to be big mad on Twitter. Like, it's what's going to happen, and I can't wait.
They'll be all right. Because there's plenty of things I don't like. A lot of things. But I'll give you a perfect example. The Transformer movies. I hate all of them.
Transformer? I have a terrible accent. It's a Transformer.
And I am a huge Transformer fan. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to tweet at Michael Bay and call him horrible, disgusting things.
I mean, Michael Bay is a horrible person, but also,
even if he is.
Don't be tweeting at him, like, stupid stuff like that. Like,
yeah, even if he is, I'm not going to do that because I have character and class about myself. You have to carry yourself with a sort of grace and be above the petty, stupid things. If you don't like something, just don't support it. Me not liking Michael Bay movies, just say, you know what? I will not pay anything for another Transformers movie. If Michael Bay's name attached to it. Simple as that. That's how you show your disgust and your anger.
What about if Mark Wahlberg's attached and he's got that stupid accent? Was like, it's a Transformer. I'm Mark Wahlberg.
I'm thinking.
My mom hates when I do that accent because it's like spot on for his like, it's a Transformer.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg was just horrible. Those movies just so bad.
But you watched them all, didn't you, Delvin?
I saw every last one of them.
I mean, they're making another one. You know that, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and this is the thing about seeing every last one of them. I saw Bumblebee, and I was like, the beginning.
The
yes,
beginning was
they got it right.
amazing.
I screamed, they got it right. Then I watched the rest. I'm like, no, they didn't.
I haven't seen it, but again, I'm gonna watch it because Haley Steinfeld's in it. Speaking of Haley Steinfeld, just got cast as Hawkeye in
That's awesome. Yeah,
the Hawkeye series. She'll be playing Kate Bishop.
I will say this: Bumblebee is one of the better of those movies.
Yeah,
I like the first Transformers movie, and then they're just not good.
Yeah, my son loves Bumblebee. My wife loves Revenge of the Fallen. If they ever are on, they are on, and they get watched.
How do you like Revenge of the Fallen? Jesus.
People like different things.
I'm not questioning that man's wife.
My wife, she really likes Optimus's voice. She is a fan. She's a fan of Optimus. She just likes the movie. She's not a Transformer person. She never played with the toys. She never saw any of the stuff back in the day. But I did. So I wanted to watch Transformers. We saw the first one. She's like, whatever. She saw the second one, and she just really enjoys the second one. So if it comes on, she'll watch it. And my son, the Revenge of the Fallen came on. My wife watched it, showed my son, and my son was just like, oh my God, this is cool. And she told him, yeah, your dad has all of the old ones, and now he is just fully in love with Transformers. So
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
He's a child, and even if he's not a child, even if he was our age, which, weird time loops aside in that, but people like different things. Yes. I'm just asking how, I've never heard anyone say they like Revenge of the Fallen. It's like that.
I'll say this: Revenge of the Fallen has some decent fighting scenes.
I mean,
that's basically what it is. She really, really likes the fighting scene. She loves the scene where Optimus is taking on 17 Decepticons and just whooping in the forest. Mm-hmm.
How about that scene? How about the scene where they use a railgun to shoot a robot?
You gotta think about my wife doesn't care about any of that stuff. She's just like, this is a fun popcorn flick. She doesn't.
I mean, yeah, I'm not judging your wife for liking different things, but that movie uses a railgun to attack a robot's balls.
Sometimes you gotta take out the balls.
I'm saying.
Jared, go for his balls.
You gotta go for what you know, man.
Hi, yes, I did just make the Pacifier joke. That movie is great.
I've seen that movie in a long time.
It's on Disney Plus. That movie's great. It's Vin Diesel is a Navy SEAL agent, and he gets tasked with protecting a family after a bunch of stuff. And there's a duck in the family, and the duck's name is Gary. And the end conflict results in Vin Diesel telling Gary to go for his balls.
I will say this about the Pacifier. I can't believe we're talking about this movie right now. The Pacifier is the most 90s movie that came out in the 2000s. It looks like something that should have been made 1997 or 95, something like that.
Fun fact, one of the little boys outside the Costco who's saying fireflies, I went to school with that kid.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to school with him. It was some weird thing. But no, that movie's great. I haven't seen it in years. I actually might watch it now because it's on Disney Plus. But no,
heck of a tangent. Just heck of a tangent. We somehow went from Last of Us 2 to Transformers to the Pacifier.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
That movie is great. It's also got a Sound of Music thing in it too, which is interesting.
Yeah. No.
It's also got one of my favorite songs ever. Everyday Hero is in it as well. Fun fact, that song's not on Spotify.
A lot of songs not on Spotify, by the way. A lot of songs on Spotify, Apple Music.
So, people, be better. Just stop being a-holes. Stop hiding behind keyboards and saying terrible stuff. 2020 is almost over. I pray it doesn't get a sequel. Like, I'm ready for all of this to just be over. I'm ready for people to finally have some decency about themselves. Don't just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're gonna be here for a while, my friends.
We've already been here for a while. I'm ready to start the
We're gonna be here for another long while.
Look here.
2021 is not going to be any better than 2020. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I think it will.
It's pandemic round 2, baby.
I think it will for one reason and one reason only. That motherfucker is not president no more.
That'll make my 2021 better at least. But like,
that's what I'm talking about. Put all of these people crawl back into your holes, you despicable humans.
No, don't crawl back into the holes. Make sure they never forget what they did.
Yeah,
never.
They're gonna just crawl back into their holes. Let's be realistic about that.
One of the funniest tweets I've seen this past week. There's a guy who I've become friends with now. He tweeted out 2019. Oh, 2020 is gonna be a great year. I plan to do a lot of traveling and everything. And then, like, he retweeted himself like this past week. Boy, did I miss on that one.
Yep.
God. Yeah, it's interesting. And my favorite thing is everyone going, oh, what are you going to do once you get the vaccine? Nothing. You're going to go home, you sit in your house for 30 days, then you're going to go get another shot, wait 14 days, then you're going to continue wearing masks until, public transmission decreases.
Yeah.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This is not over anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about the pandemic. Like, that's not what I meant by 2021 not being a sequel to 2020.
It could be because we've still got these people going, I'm not wearing a mask, it's a violation of my freedoms, and just like, okay, but y'all are the reason the virus keeps spreading, and if y'all refuse to get the vaccine, it's not going to go anywhere, and you'll be the reason we're still doing all this stuff in 2023.
Yeah, starting at I believe midnight tonight, pretty much all of California is on a 3-week mandatory stay at home. We actually had more cases yesterday than any other state ever during this whole thing, and actually almost more cases than Australia the entire time of this pandemic. In one day, we've had almost more cases than entirely, which is just ridiculous.
I believe there were 18,000 cases in Ontario yesterday.
Wow, we had 24,500, something like that.
Most of which were in the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto area. So,
don't worry, Florida's trying to catch up.
Florida needs to stop trying to catch up.
Y'all wilding out there, yeah, and that's the problem, man. Like, we're gonna be on this mandatory lockdown, but people aren't gonna pay any attention. And there's nobody to enforce it. It's
that's my favorite thing too. Like, you have a mask bylaw, but I at work can't enforce it. I had a guy on Thursday night coming to work. I'm sitting there eating a snack, so I don't have my mask on, right? Because I'm eating. Can't eat wearing a mask. This dude comes in, he's like, well, you're not wearing your mask. I'm like, I'm eating. And he goes, I don't like it. And I'm like, yeah, says the guy who walked into the store not wearing a mask. Like, you're chiding me for not wearing a mask when you can see I'm eating and my mask is on the counter, but you came into the store without one.
I would have said something far less nice than what you said.
Yeah, did you know that the Ontario bylaw thing, I'm not allowed to call people out, at all? I can't say anything if they're not wearing a mask. I have to serve them regardless.
I would have said something. I'm Delvin. That's the best way to describe that.
Yeah, you are Florida man.
I mean, you are Florida man, sure, but this is the only job I got right now. I'm not having any luck finding another one. I can't exactly just disobey and get in trouble for it, right? Like, I'm not allowed to call them out. It sucks. I would love to call them out. Wear a goddamn mask. Like, it's not hard.
And on that note, this has been episode 63 of the PlayStation Experience. Wear a goddamn mask. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to holler at us. Give us a follow over on the Twitters at PlayStation XP. Stop by the blog at psvg.blog or the Discord at psvg.blog/Discord and join us in our shenanigans there. We have all kind of ridiculous conversations as well as some really good ones. Last but not least, we want to invite you to be a part of our Patreon over at patreon.com/PSVG. If you enjoy our content here at PSVG, there's a slew of additional content to be had for just $3 a month. And with that in mind, I'd like to give a special thank you to our patrons at the producer level, Mr. Edwin Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh the Bone Bone, Chris McElfresh, Kyle Heyman, Paul Calicote, Michael Masick, Zach Bradshaw, Nick Fallharbor, Rob Emmanuel Root, Days 93, Ben Moxham, and Grouchy Surge. Thank you guys for joining us in the journey that is PSVG, because without you, there is no us. Wear a goddamn mask. Paley, where can the people find you?
You can find me over on Twitter at Shepard Zarel. You can find me on your gaming platform of choice at Haley Zarel. You can find me at twitch.tv/Haley Zarel. I will not be streaming the character creator because I don't want to get banned on Twitch because of Cyberpunk, but I will be streaming Cyberpunk on as soon as it launches. I will wait until after I've created my character to stream. Do not want to get banned because there is genital customization in that game.
Yeah, I heard something really wild about that.
I will wait until after the character creator to start streaming that game. But that's the thing you can do in that game. Just so we're clear, I will not be streaming that. But other than that, if you're into seeing the shenanigans I post on Tumblr, it's haleyzarel.tumblr.com. So
there it is. Delvin, where can the people find you, and what's the newest podcast you started?
Find me on Twitter at Delvin_Cox. Check out the Delvin Cox Experience anywhere you get podcasts. Cadillacs on Mars with me and Chalfie. Check that out too. Almost forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
Cadillacs on Mars
had me rolling.
Yes.
Almost makes me want to watch DC movies. Almost,
yeah.
This close. And you can find me at Dat Ninja Dev pretty much everywhere. So feel free to shout me a follow down. And with that, long live play.